It's your destiny to fight this war. You're a powder king, a legendary sword. Shed your skin, don't be afraid to evolve. You'll always be a world girl to me. Fuck the North!
What a bunch of pathetically thin-skinned, pale-skinned powers that be. Vampires hiding in ivory towers. We'll meet up in an hour and conspire, find our way through crime and safe all the way through the place where there should be a heart in this dusty old girl land. Hard land sure says it's great land, now a wasteland. Wasted, waiting to be basted before the great raising. Lazy, blow the world up, blazing. Well, God's busy getting faded. We can start from the basics, forget the world we hated. Fuck everything they held sacred. All that shit was heinous. And to think they blamed us for their own failure. Yeah, sure, they never learned. Even as they burned, why this was their own damn fault. Now it's our turn. We'll give it our best shot to evolve, to adapt to that next level where we should already be at. If it wasn't for these asshats keeping us back from the next act. Don't be afraid to act up, act up. Don't give a fuck when you give a fuck. And if you find yourself shit out of luck, spit acid blood in the face of the man up to his neck in the sand with the tide coming in. And he's paying you to dig him out. Minimum wage, fuck the charade. Shove your foot in his mouth, cause time is running out. Be a hellraiser, even Jesus will save us. A taste of what's to come, lick up every last drop, savor it, but whatever you do.
Hello. Welcome. Willkommen. I thought I was going to follow it up with more German, but it's just gone. Ooh, we got some Stravinsky playing now, too. Ahoy, Koi King. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've gotten at least a little bit of rest. I don't know if have you been here on Thursdays whenever I stream? Hey, hello, Aiden. I like the bat. I like the wiggly bat. That's adorable. Anyway, we're gonna get into some banjo. Banjo. All right. Let me see if I can. No, that doesn't help. We're gonna do this. That should work. And I'll move the screen as need be. Banjo. yeah, we should ban Joe. He's being real rude. But Koi, if you've never been here on Thursdays whenever I stream, every Thursday I either look at a fan wiki of a series that I'm a big fan of, or I look on a website called TCRF.net, or the Cutting Room Floor, which is a repository for early and unused content from video games. And lately I've been doing that for the most part because it's more fun. Because it's really cool to learn about the early process of making video games and what developers may have cut out. And for the past 2 streams on Thursdays, I have been looking through the pre-release info for Banjo Kazooie, and I have made VODs of those. So those are up on my YouTube channel if you feel curious. It started in like the early 90s, maybe the mid 90s, as an action RPG called Dream, and it eventually turned into a 3D platformer on the Nintendo 64. The amount of stuff that they cut from the early versions of Banjo-Kazooie and Dream, you could have made 4 to 5 games out of it. Like, counting Banjo-Kazooie. It's so, like, they cut so much that the sequel, Banjo Tooie, has a bunch of levels that were cut from Banjo 1. Purely for time reasons. Which is why this is so fascinating to me. Okay, so I'm going to get to all of these. That's just a directory. So, we have bugs to look at. We have unused text, which I don't know if I'll check there to see if there's any like cool things to read about, but I don't know. The stop and swap, which is a very infamous cut mechanic from the game. I'm not going to go into the Xbox 360 differences because like I've seen a playthrough of the Xbox 360 version. It's not that big of a difference. And then we're going to continue on from there. I don't know if this one page is going to take up the entire stream. If it doesn't, then we'll move on to Banjo Tooie. So, to Boogs we go. Hello? Can I not slide this to the side? No, I can't. Alright. Is there an image of this? No, there's not. Okay, so, removed 80% of the game because the content was too controversial. Banned Joe. Had to wait until his time came. That's a weird bit you've started on, Koi. It's a weird bit, but I like it. It's pretty good. Also, it's not like they had like 100% of content and then they took out 80% of it from Dream. They had Dream, they built it up and realized it was too big, so they scrapped the whole thing. They started over with an early version of Banjo-Kazooie called Kazoo with the bear, and then they built that up a little bit, and then they scrapped that once they saw gameplay of Super Mario 64. They looked at Mario 64 and then were like, dang, what we're working on sucks. We should do this instead. And thus, Banjo-Kazooie was born. Could they do a DLC out of this? Probably not. This game, Banjo-Kazooie, was released in 1996? Question mark? Let me check. Japan. 98. This was released in 1998. DLC was not a thing in the 90s. Or at the very least, it wasn't commonplace. Well, no, I take that back. The Dreamcast had an equivalent of DLC, but it didn't catch on until the PS3 and the Xbox 360 eras. That's when DLC really, like, caught on, at least for those two consoles. DLC for Nintendo products did not become commonplace until the Nintendo Switch. Not even the Wii U had DLC. No, not even Wii U games had DLC. Actually, no, I take that back. Wii U games did have DLC. The original version of Mario Kart 8, which originally released on the Wii U, did have DLC. Wasn't a lot, but it was DLC. And then the deluxe version came out for Switch, and all the DLC that was for Wii U came standard in Mario Kart 8 on Switch. Nintendo has had a habit of porting a lot of Wii U games to the Switch over the years. Which I'm still angrily waiting for them to put the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD remakes on the Switch. Get on it, Nintendo, god damn it. I'm fucking waiting. Alright. Okay, the Grunty's Furnace Run glitch. Grunty's Furnace Fun, excuse me. Grunty's Furnace Fun is a bit peculiar about how it handles... What is that, Aiden? You know it's true, Aiden. I want fucking Twilight Princess and Wind Waker and Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time HD remakes on the Switch. They already made Majora and Ocarina of Time 3D remakes. They just need to edit the UI to not require two screens, which can easily be done. It doesn't take long. Like, come on, Nintendo, give people what they want. I'll buy the fuck out of that. All right. Grunty's Furnace Fun is a bit peculiar about how it handles Banjo's moves. To prevent the player from cheating on the Furnace Fun... Okay, so, for context, the Furnace Fun level is a giant board game right before the final boss of Banjo Kazooie, where the main villain, Gruntilda, asks you a series of trivia questions from your journey throughout the game. And, like, if you get too many of them wrong, you die and have to restart, and you have to, like, get to the end of the board to beat it. It's really weird. Anyway... The game takes away all your moves as soon as you step on the first panel, and stores the moves learned into a temporary bit field to restore your moves the moment you step off the board again. This bit field is cleared when you leave Furnace Fun, either via any of the exits or by dying on the board. This leads to two glitches. The developers forgot about the fact that there are a few puzzles in Furnace Fun you can die in, such as Zubba's Nest in Click Clock Wood. If you step on a stopwatch panel and get a game over in the level where the puzzle takes place, the bit field will never be cleared. If you then start a new file, you will gain access to all moves you had the moment you died in Furnace Fun, as soon as you enter Gruntilda's lair on that file. That's weird. There's a pixel-thin line between the panels that doesn't count as belonging to the board, enabling your moves again. This enables a bug if you activate Talon Trot on that line and then walk into a skull panel. The skull panel is supposed to fling you into the lava should you answer the question wrong. However, this fails if you're in Talon Trot mode, because the entire board gets disabled, including the invisible walls that would normally surround it. This effectively allows you to skip Furnace Fun almost completely, and if I ever get to Furnace Fun on my playthrough, I'm gonna find that goddamn line. Oh, that sounds awesome. Alright, File Select Music glitch. At the title screen, wait for the demo that takes place in Bubblegloop Swamp. When the demo reaches the point where Banjo gets chased by the yellow flibbits and the music changes, press Start to go to the File Select screen. When you highlight Game 3, the music from the Flibbit battle will play instead of the 8-bit version of the Banjo Kazooie theme. This cannot be done in the Xbox Live Arcade version because the demo ends before Banjo reaches the yellow Flibbits. So, we got some video to watch. Some good shit. Alright. Alright, now this is just regular gameplay. Okay, there we go. Wee woo! Help! Okay. I hate how long this takes. We're gonna skip through this a little bit. Okay, that's the part. So you get chased by those frogs. Hold on. Those things. Oh, that's weird. Also, enjoy your lurk, Koi. That's really weird. Alright. Beak Buster glitch. When Banjo uses the Beak Buster move, he'll briefly bounce in the air after Kazooie hits the ground. Excuse me. While he's in the air before he touches the ground, he'll be immune to all damage except for bottomless pits. Using this immunity, you can safely fall from large heights and avoid taking damage from Grunty's projectiles. That's cool as hell. Also, my energy drink of the day is G Fuel, and it's that one berry bomb thing. Good taste. Odd aftertaste, but I'm willing to look past it for the flavor. Okay, the RBB window clip. In the engine room of Rusty Bucket Bay is a window that can be clipped through by running and holding Z to slide into the bottom left corner. This can be used as a shortcut to reach the jiggy behind the propeller fast. Ooh, hell yeah, shortcut glitches. Ramp clip. Okay. Nothing huge yet. No huge plays yet. Dude, that's huge plays. Okay, we're gonna check unused text, but if there's not much in here, then we're gonna move on. Dialogue. An early version of the message Grunty says when the player jumps into the water in Rusty Bucket Bay. This change was likely done to make it more clear that Banjo still loses air when swimming on the surface. The earlier line is also fairly disjointed and loose in terms of rhyming. My oily scum will make you gasp and choke when you're in Grunty's grasp. That's weird. My oily water, in you plunge. You'll lose air while in that gunge. I didn't realize gunge was a word, but hey, here we are. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Alright. You'll lose air. You'll lose air up double fold. I've made the water icy cold. And the final version is, yes, that's right. Swim under there. Icy water takes double air. Wow. An early version of the message Grunty says when the player swims under the icy water in the winter section of Click Clock Wood. It's a slightly awkward line for Grunty to state she directly made the water ice cold when the level's seasonal cycle can be directly manipulated by the player. Cool, an enormous ice key. We gotta keep this for later. Oh yeah, this dialogue is spoken by Kazooie when Banjo collects the ice key, which is normally inaccessible. At least in the original N64 version. In the Xbox version, they actually made the stop and swap available, but it only leads to DLC for Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and most people don't like that game. Press the Z to read the instructions again, or start to quit out of the game at any time. Unused text for the puzzle minigame inside Banjo's house. Pressing start does not quit the game, but pressing Z does nothing. Oh, excuse me. Pressing start does quit the game, but pressing Z does nothing. Bang, bang. There we go. Bang, bang. Kazooie can carry 100 of these in her backpack, so get collecting. Final, Bird Brain can carry 100 eggs in her backpack. They really shortened that down. Presumably, this was going to be part of Bottles' explanation for teaching blue eggs. Weird. That's a weird way to put that. Hold on, I got an itchy leg. The item you just picked up isn't needed just yet. Beaky will store it in your backpack. It's possible that this text could have been used for picking up blue eggs, red feathers, or golden feathers before their respective moves were learned, but each item is has unique dialogue when collected. Oh, okay. Miscellaneous text, exit to Witch's Lair, internal names. Jesus, that's a lot. Debug text. A lot of development-related strings are sometimes loaded into memory, but never displayed on screen. These were likely displayed on a developer console. Okay. Holy shit, what the hell? Hold on, let's auto-scroll and see how long this takes. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of text strings. And the thing, they knew what most of this meant. I haven't got a clue. Damn! Alright, fuck. Alright, that's it for unused text. We're powering through this. Faster than I thought we would. Okay. Next is the stop and swap. Banjo Kazooie. Yep. Oh, wait. One of the most infamous, rare pieces of media is without a doubt the stop and swap, which was planned pre-DLC, which was a planned pre-DLC method of acquiring bonus content from other games. As Koi mentioned earlier, this was like a very much pre-DLC, and this was like a way that they had come up with to get new extra content for the sequel, Banjo Tooie. And we're going to get into it right now. Due to the technological complications, which will be explained later, this idea never quite panned out. Similar ideas from other companies were experimented on, including Sega's lock-on technology, with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Ubisoft's Ubi Key for Game Boy Color Rayman. Lock-on technology refers to, excuse me. So the original versions of Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles were meant to stick together, or they are meant to stick together, because Sonic 3, I think that's the one, actually has an open cartridge slot on top of the cartridge. And so what you were meant to do was, in order to get the full third game, because Sonic 3 was originally going to be one big game, but they had to split it in two because it was so large. Wink wonk. And so to get the full game, you have to put the cartridge of Sonic 3 in the Sega Genesis, and then, slash Master System, and then put Sonic and Knuckles in the cartridge slot on top of Sonic 3. And in the words of a very old video, it's like a cartridge having sex with another cartridge. Anyway. It was really weird. Although, you could actually connect other cartridges to Sonic 3 to get different results. If you plugged in Sonic 2 to Sonic 3, you'd be able to play Sonic 2 as Knuckles. And if you put in most any other cartridge, it would give you more bonus stages to play. I don't know about the UB key for the Rayman Game Boy Color game, although I do have the Game Boy Color Rayman game physically, because I played it as a kid at my cousin's house, and I always wanted it again. Okay. What's still in the game? If the player collects all of the Jiggies and then beats Gruntilda, Mumbo will show pictures of 2 eggs and 1 ice key during the ending. These and 4 more eggs can be obtained by using secret built-in codes. Go to the Sandcastle in Treasure Trove Cove and type in cheat. A cow moo will confirm correct entry. And now enter any of these codes. You have to... Okay, so for those of you who have not played Banjo Kazooie, in the level Treasure Trove Cove, there's a sandcastle that is submerged underwater. And in order to... what is it? Oh yeah, in order to activate the codes, in the castle there's this grid of letters. In order to press a button, you have to hit A, you have to jump and then do the equivalent of a ground pound. And you have to do that with every single letter. And there are 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3. 43 letters in this one message. You have to ground pound every single letter to get it to work. And that's crazy. So whenever you type in this code, now you can see a nice ice key, which you can have for free. The result is, in Waz's Cave in Freeze Easy Peak, which is a level in the game, the ice wall will disappear, allowing the player to go through it into a room containing the ice key. Of note is that this was one of the first stop and swap items to be obtained, due to the use of the press L to levitate Game Shark code. The next is, out of the sea it rises to reveal more secret prizes. On Shark Food Island, also in Treasure Trove Cove, will rise... Oh. This island will rise out of the sea, and the player will be able to enter it. Inside is a large structure that can be climbed to acquire the pink egg. A desert door opens wide. Ancient secrets wait inside. In Gobi's Valley, the door, which is normally always closed, will be opened. Inside is a secret room with a sarcophagus which can be opened using a nearby switch. Inside the sarcophagus is the blue egg. Don't you go and tell her about the secret in her cellar. In the wine cellar in Mad Monster Mansion, the keg, which normally has an X printed on it, will be opened. It leads to a secret room with a cyan egg. I do enjoy the color cyan, it's a nice color. Amidst the haunted gloom, a secret in the bathroom. In the bathroom in Mad Monster Mansion, the green egg will appear on top of Lago the toilet, which is absolutely a sentient toilet that talks to you. It's kind of silly. This secret you'll be grabbing in the captain's cabin. The red egg will appear in the captain's cabin in Rusty Bucket Bay. Now Banjo will be able to see it in Nabnut. On Nabnut's table in Click Clock Wood, the yellow egg will appear on the table in Nabnut's house in winter. So as soon as the player collects one of these, a new menu called Stop and Swap will appear at the very end of the game totals. Sorry, I'm adjusting my microphone. Which shows all the secret items collected so far. None of these items have an effect in-game. They were intended to be used in various rare development N64 games by relying on the fact that the Nintendo 64 console retained Rambus memory for 10 seconds after powered off. enough time to quickly swap cartridges so the contents of memory left behind by the previous game would be available to the next game, hence the feature's name. So, what you would have had to do in an era of blowing on cartridges, having to take the cartridge out, put it back in, and, try and get it to work. In order to successfully use the stop and swap, you would have had to turn off the console, take out the cartridge, grab have another cartridge ready that could work with stop and swap, put it in the N64, turn it on, and hope that it worked the first time. That's the links that you had to go to get some extra content if they had implemented it. They never implemented it originally because they realized that not everyone would be able to do it that fast. And thus, the stop and swap was abandoned for years. But as I said before, they included it in the Xbox 360 version of Banjo Kazooie, but it's shit for Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, the sequel that no one wanted. Alright. Taking seconds out of the power off, enough time to quickly swap cartridges. Features, okay. Each of the eggs corresponded to a different game, and transferring the ice key to every game and back would unlock a final grand bonus. Hold on. For the longest time, the fate of Stop and Swap was completely unknown. Unknown and subject to many different rumors. It was not until 2020 when Paul Machakek, an ex-Rare employee who worked on this feature, revealed the true story first on DK Vine and later on Twitter. As it turns out, Stop and Swap is in fact implemented and fully functional in Banjo Kazooie. Okay, so it was implemented, my bad, never mind. And Rare was able to transfer items between their next game, Donkey Kong 64, and Banjo Kazooie during development. However, when DK64 was sent to Nintendo for approval, they requested the feature be removed from the game, both due to the rare possibility of damage to either the console or the cartridge, and because Nintendo could not guarantee the method of transfer would work on future console models. Indeed, newer N64 models starting in 1999 reduced the time the console retained rhombus memory. I don't know why it's called rhombus or rambus memory, it's really weird. Down to just 1 second, so newer models couldn't even do it properly, completely breaking the stop and swap as it was implemented. Because Banjo Kazooie was already released with the original method of transfer in mind, Rare had no choice but to scrap the feature. Data relating to the ice key can still be found in the released version of Donkey Kong 64. I don't know if I've gone to that one yet. Hold on. Alright. I need to unfull screen this real quick and check my bookmarks and see. Okay, I have the Donkey Kong as a series bookmarked, so that'll happen at some point. We will eventually get to DK64. But first, let's scroll back down because I accidentally hit Function L. Okay. These codes are effectively permanent. New games started after these codes are input. What? New games started after these codes are input will begin with Oh, I see. If you start a new game after these codes are inputted, the game will begin with the locations unlocked. And new games started after the items are collected will still have them selected. The only way to erase these items is to use Game Shark code that. Okay, that's where I was confused. Rare reintroduced the concept on Xbox Live Arcade on the Xbox Live Arcade release of Banjo Kazooie, although these codes are no longer permanent, getting wiped after exiting the save. Having Banjo Tooie and or Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts save data on the console unveils all the locations permanently. Then, collecting the items both adds them to the player's inventory in Banjo Tooie, which makes the breakable N64 carts drop different items for Stop and Swap 2, and unlocks rare parts in Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Like I said, Nuts and Bolts sucks. Okay. The mechanism. The original Stop and Swap mechanism is left unused in Banjo Kazooie, but is still fully functional. On boot, so whenever you boot up the game scans all of the main memory for a special 128-byte payload left behind by another game. This payload starts with the magic number 0xC908C52F. Contains data in the next 112 bytes to transfer items between games, has 4 bytes of padding, and ends with 2 4-byte checksums. Don't know what any of that means. If the magic number is present and the checksums are valid, the contents are transferred to an in-game word array and then read by the game to make the relevant Stop and Swap items accessible. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure it's not as complicated as it sounds, but my god. This feels like one of those cases where it only sounds complicated because we don't know the nomenclature. So I'm gonna try and like come up with like nomenclature that's vaguely related to each other. Let's see. I got nothing. Not off the top of my head. I got nothing off the top of my head. Receiving data from other games. The incoming payload should contain some or all of the value. Oh, okay. Here's a payload that will make all 7 Stop and Swap items accessible if placed in RAM. That's weird. Sending data to other games. Excuse me. Okay. That's it for the Stop and Swap. That was really fucking cool. I love that idea. It just sucks that Nintendo was like, yeah, that 10 seconds is now 1 second, so no. Absurd. So we're going to skip over the Xbox 360 differences and check out the debug value display. Exclusive to the US 1.0 version of the game, which back in the day, they could not. It's not like today where you can just like download an update patch, even for physical games. You had, in order to get an updated version of the game, they had to physically release a new version of the game, but it wasn't really talked about. Like the developers weren't like, oh, hey everyone, get ready for the release of 2.0 of Banjo Kazooie. No, they don't do that. Basically, stores were told to stop selling earlier versions of the cartridge, I think. And this is purely guesswork on my part, by the way. If I had to guess, stores were told to stop selling earlier versions of the game and then given new versions of the game to sell on store shelves instead. So, exclusive to the US 1.0 version of the game is a debug system that can draw arbitrary values to the frame buffer with the CPU. Okay. I don't know what that means. These values can be floats, and unsigned shorts in decimal or hex can be drawn in one of 7 colors and at any size or position on the screen. This may have had more extensive use during development, since there are only a few instances below left over in the game. They trigger when the N64's video or audio interface encounters specific conditions, and they stall the CPU for 15 million instructions, okay, to keep the message on screen long enough to read. Some are known to have been encountered during normal gameplay. That's crazy. So you can just put these values on screen in a variety of different colors and sizes. Code 2000. This is triggered when a specific value is larger than a threshold. It then shows the value and threshold 2500 on screen. This is weird. It's too much tech jargon for my inexperienced brain. So we're just gonna look at the random text strings on screen. Is that nab nut? Is that nab nut? Is he gonna nab my nuts? All right. Hell yeah, this is what I like to see. Test maps. Hold on. Okay. This simple test map consists of 8 slopes arranged in a circle formation. All of them are too steep for Banjo and Kazooie to walk on in their normal forms, so they'll just slide down. Though Banjo can walk up the slopes in any of the transformations, it was presumably used to test walking up steep slopes. Code 2001 was better than 2005. They ruined the sequel. Yeah, Koi. Tell like it is. Code 2001's totally better than 2005. Ugh. Test walking up steep slopes, both normally and with the talent trot. This map only exists in the US 1.0 version of the game. The following code replaces Mumbo's Mountain with the test map. Any objects seen here are from Mumbo's Mountain. Oh, okay. And there's just a Game Shark code to put in to do it. Which, ironically, I do have a Nintendo 64 Game Shark cartridge, so I could put in these codes if I really wanted to, but I really don't want to. I don't really feel like it. Okay. Ooh, we got some unused music. Hell yeah. Let me just take a second to pause the music. Come on. There we go. Okay. Anyway. There are 4 unused songs that can be heard in-game by using one of the below Game Shark codes. There are also 2 unused versions of the Click Clock Wood theme and an unused Mumbo Jumbo song called Mumbo's Rain Dance. Alright, so, first one. This shit's really good. I like it. It's very relaxing. I just got my eyes closed and I'm vibing to it. This shit's so good. I love Grant Kirkhope's music. Okay. There were many fan theories about the track's purpose back when it was first discovered, often centering around some connection with Freeze Easy Peak's massive advent calendar. Play all the music at once and you'll hear warnings about the 9/11 attacks. Oh, Koi. Somewhere out there, I'm pretty sure someone actually believes that. That's the sad part. Oh, fuck, that reminds me. I need to actually... Hold on a second. I need to go into chatting real quick and actually see if I can fix damn it. Hold on. Okay, anyway. See if I can fix the sound alerts and other stuff. Yes, I am Q. Oh god, don't mention that. That's so stupid. Streamlabs. I need to run into Streamlabs real quick and see what's going on with it, because it wouldn't play the animation for a new follower that I got yesterday. It was weird. It's always strange whenever a liquid is clear, but it has such a blast of flavor to it. You always think that flavor compounds are going to be like real crazy colors, but they never are. Okay, let me log in real quick and see what the dealio is. I know y'all can't see this right now because I want to log in properly, but once I'm properly logged in, then I will move back over to it. Come on. This is taking forever. The liquid you drink is water because in the end the liquid is pure, i.e. flavor is I am very confused, Koi. Also, aren't you lurking? You come out of the woodwork to make weird conspiracy jokes. I don't care about podcast editor. What the hell? Alert box. There we go. Okay, let's see. It looks like it should be working fine. Let's see. Test follow. Yeah, okay, that should work. And the sound played. Okay, that's good. So that should have played properly. I don't know what happened. It's not a joke. I know Hollywood elites eat babies to suck their youth and be immortal. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm assuming this is a continued bit, and if you actually believe that, I don't care. Like, just don't talk about it on stream, because I don't think anyone else in chat. I don't think anyone else in chat actually believes it either. Test bits. Okay, there's that. That's good. Dang, that lasts for a long time. Alright, raids. Yep. Although the text is a little too big, but that's okay. I don't really care. Just as long as everything's working properly. And we're gonna check sound alerts to make sure they're working properly. Okay, let's see. My alerts. testing browser source. Okay, that's working. Oh, wait. Yeah! We got it! Yeah, it works. Thank you, Koi, for that. It does work indeed. We got the Luigi boop. We got the Luigi boop, too. I love the Luigi boop. Wait, what? Yeah, gentlemen and ladies, we got it. Ladies, gentlemen, NBs, and anyone in betweenies. We got them. Luigi boops Mario. Hey, you played the one I was gonna play, Aiden. Thank you. Boop. I want to play one of my favorites, which is this one.
Anime! Holy fuck!
That's my favorite one. Oh. I also have two lurking sound clips.
I'll just have to think of something else. Yeah, I thought you could talk to me. I thought you could talk to me. Things won't be the same.
Wee but wham and wong. Okay, that's good. I appreciate your patience with me testing out to make sure everything works. Commands, custom, playlist, Twitter, add command.
I'll just have to think of something else. Yeah, I thought you could talk to me.
That was epic. Hell yeah. I'm making a command. I'm making a Nightbot command to link to my YouTube channel. Everyone. Gotta open YouTube up like a wiener. Ooh, Oblivion soundtrack. Hell yeah. We love that Oblivion soundtrack. That shit's good. I'm not sure why no one ever seems to use my sound alerts. Like, they're free. I guess it's because they never think to look for them. I'm not sure. Not sure what it is. Come on, YouTube. YouTube. C-H-E-W-B. Tube. YouTube. That's like my favorite way that people pronounce YouTube is YouTube. It's so silly to me. Okay, let's see. Switch account. I didn't know that existed at all. Wait, you didn't know what existed at all? The way that people pronounce YouTube? Yeah, some people pronounce it like this, which is the normal way, and then some people pronounce it like this. Oh, sound alert? Oh yeah, absolutely, it's a thing. I've had them for a little while now. YouTube. It's so silly. I love it. Wait, what am I doing? I can just go to my own account from here, from my other account. Anyway. I might as well put it on the screen while you're waiting. This is what I'm waiting on right now. This fucking black screen. Oh, wait. Here we go. Ikaidu. YouTube. Oh yeah, YouTube. That reminds me. There's this really funny Vine / TikTok / Instagram short where it's a series of company signs, and but they've been respelled to the way that Hispanic people say it. So Walmart is like JUAL-MAR, so it's like Walmart. It's so good. Walmart. Walmart. AT&T. YouTube. It's so good. I love it. Okay, that should work. We'll see. We'll see. Alias. This is a command is supposed to call another command. Alias. We'll do VODs. Cooldown 5 seconds, that's fine. Okay, I think I got everything that I wanted to add to this one. Playlist, Twitter, YouTube. Aiden, can you think of anything else that I might need to add? I'm not sure if there's anything else. Also, I think I can test it. Easier. YouTube. Oh my god. Not unless you has it. I have a personal Discord, but I don't want everyone adding me, so I mean, I'd feel weird if I'm just like, hey, check out Captain Morgan's Discord. What the hell? Why doesn't it work? YouTube. I mean, you could do that. I don't know. I'd feel weird doing it. This is your command name. It is usually prefixed with an exclamation mark, but you can make it anything. Okay. Dude, come on. Okay, fine. Oh, fine. Well, I don't know how to do it, honestly. I legit do not know how to do it. We'll figure it out later, Aiden. I promise. I'll eventually have a Nightbot command to Let's see if this will work. Yay! It works now. If you want to see my streams, any streams you missed, here's my YouTube VOD channel. Yay! Ask her for a permanent invite and use that link. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Ooh. But it'll have to be after stream because I don't have Discord on this laptop because it slows down this laptop too much. And if I open it on stream, it would... yeah! Exclamation port Morgie. Hell yeah! 100% I would do that. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, with everything working properly. Hashtag VOD. I have 1 subscriber. I don't know who subscribed, but I appreciate it. I didn't expect to get any. 1 subscriber. I have more on my main account, and I don't post anything. Well, it's not as if I heavily advertise it, Koi. I only post my VODs to like Twitter, Captain Morgan's Discord, and a few other places, and that's about it. I don't expect it to be like huge. It's literally just a repository. Like legit. Some of the views on those videos are from me because I like to watch my own VODs sometimes. Okay. Okay, so. The explanation of this Advent song. Wait, can you check subscriber list on YouTube? Can you check I don't think I can. Because I've tried to look. I'm like 90% of my own views. Hell yeah, Aiden. But yeah, I don't know if you can check the subscriber list on YouTube. I wish you could check the viewer list, but I don't think there's a way to do that either. Anyway, there were many fan theories about this track's purpose back when it was first discovered, often centering around some connection with Freeze Easy Peak's massive advent calendar entrance. It's clear this is what the entrance is intended to be, since the map's internal game is Witch-FLR2 comma, area 2, colon, spooky / advent, close quote. Grant Kirkhope later confirmed that this song was composed for a map screen in Project Dream, which was the original intent behind this game, and then it got changed a whole bunch. And that Advent is a shortening of the track's full title, Adventure. I think Advent was a tune that was supposed to be played on a map page in Dream, but never got used in Banjo. Early Click Clock Wood, number 1. House Summer. Ooh, I like that. Another very chill song. Hold on. That bird sound that you just heard, I swear that's used in every other N64 games to communicate that there are birds in the area. Because that's also heard in Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. It's crazy. Ba-ba-doop-a-da-ba-doop-a-da-ba-doop-a. Ba-dum-boop-boop-boop. Da-boom-boom. Da-do-do. Da-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Bomb. I like the casual bongos. It's very nice. Off topic, I am still slowly getting together a song list for my next karaoke night. So let me double check how many songs I have so far. Uh, 14 songs. I have 14 songs so far. I think I had 24 for the first karaoke night, and it lasted for like 2 or 3 hours. That was cool. I like that. Anyway, but of course, Twitch just obliterated it. So this time around, I'm going to have it recording while I stream to see if there's anywhere I can put it besides YouTube, or I might just say fuck it. I'm sure this music was the first Pizarro heard before he destroyed some... Who? Pizarro? Is that the main character's name for Pizza Tower or something? It sounds like it would be. I don't know. Either way. The song that just played, though, was an unused variant of the Click Clock Wood theme. The name and range of seasonal variations suggest that it may have been intended for Click Clock Woods' treehouse, considering it's unbuilt in spring and boarded up in winter. Perhaps Grant Kirkhope composed the level's sub-area themes before the level model, and then before the level model had been finished, at which stage it might have been unclear if the treehouse would be split out as its own map or simply remain part of the main level model, as it is in the final game. It was the Spanish conquistador who conquered the Inca Empire. Oh, okay. That's kind of a funny joke. Conquering an empire, not good. The music that he hears when conquering the empire, hilarious. Man, the Spanish took over everybody, didn't they? Everywhere that the British didn't take over, the Spanish were like, mine. Fucking crazy. Anyway. Related to this, there are a conspicuous number of unused map setup indices, I don't know, around the range containing CCW's sub-areas, specifically 54 hours to 59 hours, and that may not be hours, 54H to 59H, and 5DH. I have no clue what that means. Click Clock Wood was the first finalized level from Kirkhope completed for the game, which may corroborate this idea. Also, I'm just realizing that I thought Pizarro was the name of the main character for Pizza Tower when in fact it was the name of the man who conquered an entire empire and subjugated an entire culture of people. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, hey, this old Spanish conqueror who tried to destroy an entire civilization. He was the main character of Pizza Tower, right? I swear to God, I have a bachelor's in history. God damn it! But no, I never focused on Spanish on the Spanish Empire. So that's my excuse. Okay, this is another unused variant of Click Clock Wood theme. House Autumn. Ooh, I like that. I love that bouncy flair. It's very nice. All right, Mumbo's Rain Dance. An unused song for Mumbo, a similar sounding song would later appear in Banjo Tooie for Mumbo's Spells, suggesting that that feature may have been intended for Banjo Kazooie. He's the guy who conquered half of the continent. He was also the main character of the pizzeria game. Just in his off time. It was a side gig. He knew he'd never make a lot of money from it. So he had to resort to conquering empires. Oh boy. Alright. Mumbo. Oh wait, I didn't even play the song, excuse me. Hell yeah. Ekum okum, ekum okum. Oh. Low key, this rips shit, dude. I love it. Ekum okum. I like that. It's really silly. Also, Koi. And while it does sound like he's saying Biga Boga, he is saying Ekum Okum. I'm not sure exactly how you spell it. That's my best guess. Ekum Okum. Ekum Okum. Alright. Like Ika Okum. What's the difference? Oh. Yeah, Ika Okum. Yeah. Well, put an M after that A on the first one and you've got it. Ekum Okum. It's two different words in the same phrase. Ekum Okum. And I explained in previous streams where that voice clip came from. It is the composer, Grant Kirkhope, doing weird voices. One of them is a remixed version of him saying, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough," which is hilarious. Okay, Mumbo's Barbecue. Well, oh, wait. Mumbo's Barbecue, this 64-second long track is used during, and there's no... But what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just gibberish. It's in the game. It's used as Mumbo Jumbo's like magic spell. It's either used whenever he casts a spell on Banjo and Kazooie to transform them into different animals, or it's his catchphrase. It's either or it's both. I can't remember. It's definitely part of his catchphrase though. Absolutely part of his catchphrase. Ekum Okum. Oh, also, for more context, in Banjo Kazooie itself, The characters don't actually speak. They use text boxes. However, when they speak, they have this like mumbling sound effect that's repeated. So, like for instance, whenever Banjo speaks, the words he says appears in text boxes, but you hear and whenever Mumbo speaks, you hear different versions of him saying "ekum okum." So it's like that kind of shit. It's real silly. I honestly love it. Okay, so this doesn't have like a sound or like a sound. This doesn't have what am I trying to say? The music is not available. Jesus. All right. Unused underwater themes. The music tracks for several areas of the game contain MIDI channels, which are never played. These make up the aquatic underwater harp versions of the music in several areas where it is impossible to swim underwater. To hear these in-game, use one of the music modifier codes from above, then stand near the entrance to Mumbo's Mountain in Gruntilda's lair. That's weird. Okay. Ooh. I like this. I don't get that. I do not get that reference, Koi. I really don't. Not bad. In-game, it is impossible to swim in the water in Freeze Easy Peak because it's too cold, and also very shallow. While the player can become submerged using the Walrus transformation, the music does not change. Waz's Cave. Holy shit, 2 paragraphs for this? As with the parent level of Freeze Easy Peak, the water in Waz's Cave is too cold to swim in, and the music, again, does not change in the underwater tunnel accessible through the Walrus transformation. It seems that at some point in development, this cavern was meant to be swam through instead of using the Walrus. Cuckoo-ca-choo. This track can actually be heard during the normal game, albeit through an odd bug. If the Wowza's Cave background music comes up in a "what level is this music from?" question in Grunty's Furnace fun quiz, this version and the regular version will play layered because the game is not told to mute the MIDI channels containing the harp sound. It can also be heard without glitches by drowning in Waz's Cave. Oh my god. Bum bum ba-dum bum ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. I like that. All these like underwater harp versions of these songs are so relaxing. Rusty Bucket Bay Engine Room. By far the oddest of the lot, as there is absolutely no place for swimmable water to exist in the engine room in Rusty Bucket Bay. According to Greg Males on Twitter, he originally intended to flood the engine room, so this track was presumably left over from that. Also, for more context, in Rusty Bucket Bay is just a little bay with a giant ship in it. Ship/submarine, I can't remember which one it is. And you go into the different rooms of the ship and explore and stuff. It's cool as hell. That's very, like I said, very relaxing. I like this a lot. I could fall asleep to that, man. Damn. Unused fanfares. Quit. A shorter version of the Game Over fanfare, which has the internal name Last Bit. It might have been used for the Game Over screen before the cutscene was implemented. Okay. The door open. This resembles the tune played when Mumbo transforms Banjo, albeit with softer instrumentation. It is later used in Banjo Tooie if the player lets Dingpot, hilarious, replenish their items. I like that. Mystery. This jingle is used when a player collects the unused random honeycomb. Cool. Ooh, look at that little firefly. He's cute. I like him. Wait, how big is that, how big is that sprite? Also, let's go ahead and turn the music back on since we're done with the, unused music. Look at how tiny he is! He's so dang tiny. Tiny little baby, look at him. Oh, that's so tiny. Oh my god. He's a tiny little boy. I was about to suggest that I use it as an emote, but it might be too small. He is Greek point? He is my new... What the hell are you talking about, Koi? I feel like I lack context for half of the things that you say. Okay, a firefly that looks similar to the beehive's bees, even using the same sprite for its wings. It's most likely would have appeared in Bubble Gloop's swamp, adding extra atmosphere to the level. Oh, he is Greenpoint. He is my new... I still don't know what you mean by Greenpoint. I feel like I'm still missing context, but I don't want to make you explain yourself. I can understand why that would... I understand that frustrates some people. 2D button icons found near the dialogue font graphics. These were likely meant to appear in the dialogue instead of the button names. Oh, okay. Rusty Bucket Bay's Toxic Pool. They definitely do be looking toxic. Boom, boom. Oh my god, Aiden! It's like instead of Captain Morgan's excuse me, wall of shame, it's the toxic pool of shame. It's like, all right, get in the toxic pool. All right, in you go. It's using it in combination with that one SpongeBob meme. Okay, get in. The last one you see in your life, for real. Okay, into the toxic pool. Get your bathing suit on for the pool of shame. Yeah, the pool of shame. What's the pool of shame? Oh, it's just a toxic pool. What's with the danger sign? Don't worry about it. The burn means it's working. Most of the textures for the toxic pool in Rusty Bucket Bay can't be seen in-game normally since the water texture is completely opaque and Banjo can't swim under it. Oh, that's why it's here. That's actually really cool looking. I like the purple and green mixture. Gives me Incredible Hulk vibes. Ah, got it. Final Fantasy VI. Christmas tree. A small graphic of the Christmas tree in Freeze Easy Peak. A coconut. An unused dialogue icon for what appears to be a coconut. Thank you. Okay, this is crazy to me. This is an unused 2D tree dating all the way back to the N64 version of Project Dream. So, out of everything that got scrapped from the N64 version of Dream, this single tree is what's left. That's insane. Ooh, we got some early honeycombs. Okay, so so legit, the only thing that's different is that their angle is slightly changed. That's really odd. Oh, that's creepy right there. Alright, anyway. An early version of the empty honeycomb icon, which looks like an altered copy-paste of the filled honeycomb icon. The final version is redone from scratch and makes the difference between the two more distinct. Yeah, it kinda does. Early Hourglass. Ooh, I like that, honestly. It's got skulls and shit. Oh, and red sand. Another version of the Hourglass icon in which has skulls on it. Yes, thank you. And that's the final one. Honestly, I like this one more. It's cooler looking. Lockup's mouth? The eye texture for the lockup enemies in Treasure Trove Cove has a mouth that isn't visible in-game. What? Oh no, it's another tiny texture. Look how tiny that is! Oh my god. Next emote right there. Angry face. And because it's a PNG, you can put it on anything you want and give it an angry face. No, taught me I angry. Oh, if I knew how to make emotes, I would use that. Flag textures. Unused flag textures. An unused green flag model exists in the ROM. Okay. It's Burger King. Alright. Furnace Fun Podium. This texture is used on the other side of Grunty's podium in Furnace Fun. It can't be seen without glitches as there aren't any camera angles that show it, and the podium disappears once Furnace Fun is complete. Okay. Jesus, that's small. That's what she said. You can't read any of the text on the letters. That does look like a mushroom, though. Yeah, mushroom! For real, Koi. I was thinking that too. A picture. This was probably intended to show up on one of the rooms in Mad Monster Mansion with all the other pictures. Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird. I like that though. Debug stuff. This Shrek and Skeleton from Dark Souls. Yeah. Oh, it's all ogre now. Alright, these look like icons and text which could be used in a debug mode. No idea how they were used, though. Okay. On vacation sign? This is very likely for use in Mumbo's hut in the winter area of Click Clock Wood. Instead, a beehive tells Banjo that Mumbo's on vacation. That's hilarious. Wait, how big is this? Oh, that's not that big. Damn. Actually, hold on. Hold on. I have an idea.
She finally made me realize.
Let's see. I have an idea to use this for my either ending soon screen or my intermission screen. Maybe both, I don't know. It's gonna be great. Burger King flag. That's a pretty long flag. A green flag that looks similar to the flags found in Boggy's sled race in Freeze Easy Peak, which has BK on it. This on vacation character file is so big that the developers had to leave 80% of the game because of, what the hell? What the hell? Unused joints. Okay, I've never heard of that one before. Concert cutscene Banjo Kazooie unused joints. The skeleton for Banjo and Kazooie's intro concert cutscene model has 3 unused joints near Banjo's backpack. Oh, right here. It's these 3. highlighted in blue in the picture, visualized by extracting the model data and viewing it in Maya. Never heard of that. Based on its position within the model, this joint chain was likely intended to be used for animating the backpack's flap. The cutscene model is missing most of the backpack's polygons, though so the joints end up being completely unnecessary. These joints are not present within the skeleton for Banjo and Kazooie's gameplay models, which is weird. Oh, it's Toby Fox, got it. Toby Fax Machine. Since the concert model is also missing a number of polygons around Banjo's back and the back of Kazooie's head, it's possible that the backpack was animated at an earlier stage in development, but this was lost when some of the model's polygons were trimmed to improve the cutscene's frame rate. Wow, I didn't realize you could improve the frame rate just from cutting the polygons. Wow, that's interesting. It could be interesting to check if the backpack's joints, position, and rotations are still being animated during the concert cutscene, despite having no geometry assigned to them. Random honeycombs. Present in the game are unused random honeycombs, which look exactly like regular ones. Upon collecting one, a short unused jingle, which we heard earlier, will play, and the honeycombs in Banjo's health bar will start flashing. After a couple of seconds, it'll stop, and the currently lit honeycomb will now be how much health Banjo will have. This GameShark code can re-enable it. Random honeycombs would appear in Banjo Tooie, but have a question mark or exclamation mark to differentiate them from normal honeycombs, and also allow players to stop the roulette by pressing A. That's weird. Event. That looks like it's from 007 GoldenEye. A global quote vent object is available within the game's code. It is fully functional. It is a fully functional hazard that matches the aesthetics of Rusty Bucket Bay. Oh, okay. And was likely used in that level as well as in place of the grill champas outside of it. Event, a bit like event. Ho ho ho. Or better yet, Amogus. Dun 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 dun. Alright. The vent remains closed until the player is within a certain proximity, at which point it will release steam on a fixed interval that will damage the player. It can't be killed or damaged. That's weird. Exit to Witch's Lair. That would have been great, dude. An unused option for the pause menu was Exit to Witch's Lair. This option would instantly return the player to Gruntilda's lair from any level. That would have been great, without having to run back to the start pad. It's featured in a picture in the American and Australian instruction booklets, but absent again in the European one. The following GameShark codes will restore this option in the pause menu. I'm sorry to say this, but Amogus is cringe. Joke's on you, Koi. Nothing. The only thing that's cringe is things that hurt other people. That's the only real cringe. If people want to like Among Us or Amogus, that's fine. They're not hurting anybody. Who cares? Unused cutscene. Map ID 84 is an unused cutscene of Klungo. That's his name? Klungo? Okay. Walking up to the console like he does in the intro before disappearing. The camera also rapidly spins around for the first few frames, so it's possible that the cutscene was just used for testing purposes. Use one of the below GameShark codes to load this cutscene after the N64 Rare logos. Okay. Unused gameplay demos? Fuck yeah. Spiral Mountain. Present are 4 unused gameplay demos that can be seen at the title screen in the US 1.0 version by using the below GameShark codes. Spiral Mountain. Okay, so this is an unused game demo. I wonder why it was unused. Oh, look at those 2D texture fish. That's adorable. Okay, that's it. That was quick. Someone said a joke. You know what? The only thing that's cringe is no idea of a funny answer. Koi, how could I have possibly known that you were joking? Like, so many people legitimately believe in cringe as a thing, but like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Especially when I wasn't prepared to talk about that. Whoops, there we go. Like, so many people, like, legit believe that cringe is a real thing. Like, cringe in terms of doing something quote-unquote embarrassing. Like, it's not real. The only cringe out there is just people being shitty. A short demo that takes place in the first room of Grunty's lair. Okay, cool. Whoops, I forgot to mute that. There we go. The way he slides. Cringe and not synonymous with embarrassment. Many people try to associate it with embarrassment, but it's really not. Cringe, for many people, is what some would call secondhand embarrassment, which is feeling embarrassed on someone else's behalf. So let's say someone else does something that a different person finds embarrassing. They may cringe, but like, that's not the other person's fault. Like, get over yourself. Cringe is my OGRP block? No, Aiden, come on. You were probably a teenager when you were role-playing, and you were expressing yourself in the best way you knew how. Nothing wrong with that. A teenager's emotions is like supercharged. Nope. Yes. I was 18. That's still a teenager. Are you kidding me? That's still 18. Teen as in teenager, bro. Come on now. Also, I had an RP account on a website called Chatango, and Chatango is a website that was basically Discord before Discord, but it had no video calls. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Aiden. No one knows what they're doing when they start out. Are you kidding me? To expect a teenager to understand the nuances and rules to writing. Remember Kick? I think Kick is still a thing, honestly, unless it got shut down recently. Because the most recent that I've heard about Kick was about 4 or 5 years ago or so. It may still be around, it's just not that popular, unless it has been shut down recently. I don't know. I had a Kick, and then someone who I thought was my friend threatened to give my IP address to their quote-unquote hacker friends and dox me or some shit. In fairness, it was also the first time I was allowed on the internet completely unsupervised. Well, there you go! I had something like this on Amino. When I think about what I did there, I have a cold sweat. Well, of course, Koi. You have the curse of hindsight. The thing about hindsight, though, is it's not as 2020 as you might believe. It's you only see what you did wrong. You don't, like, it comes back to the phrase, I don't know what I don't know. And as long as you're not hurting anybody, you know, it doesn't matter what you used to do. If you hurt people, then all you can do is learn from your mistake and move on. Maybe forgive yourself, move on, and learn to be a better person. Like, that's what mistakes are for. They're learning experiences. Okay, they have one for Freeze Easy Peek as well. Rusty Bucket Boy. Okay, that's the last two. Let's do it. It looks like the player's trying to play it like a cover shooter. What are you doing? That's really weird. Okay, and here's the one for Rusty Bucket Bay. Inside of the giant ship. Ah! That was weird. Oddities. Oddities nuts! Oh, I love those. Alright. Out of bounds level geometry. Underneath the maze in King Sandy Butt's tomb in Gobi's Valley is a large triangle that is never seen in game. Oh, there it is. That's weird. Song name oddity. The short fanfare that plays when a player completes Grunty's Furnace Fun is internally named Note Door, indicating that it was intended to play when the player opens a note door. Which, for full context, note doors are just doors in the game, in the main hub area, with an image of a note, like a musical note. And you collect these musical notes in the individual levels, and you spend the musical notes at these doors to gain access to the rooms beyond. Anyway. At some point during development, in the final game, the Note Door fanfare uses the same fanfare for when the player collects all 10 Jiggies in a world, internally named Jig 10. And Jiggies are another collectible that you get where you have to find them hidden throughout the level. And if you find all 4 or 5 of them, I think, I can't remember how many there are, but if you find all 5 of them, you get a Jiggy. And a Jiggy is the main collectible, which you use to unlock further levels to continue the game. Animation file names. The animations of Banjo and Kazooie firing eggs forwards and backwards are internally named Egg Head and Egg Ass, respectively. These file names would carry over to Banjo Tooie. That's fucking great, I love that. Mumbo tokens. There are 116 Mumbo tokens in the game, but if you aren't careful, only 115 can be collected. This is because 2 tokens in Mad Monster Mansion, one inside of a breakable keg in the wine cellar, and the other next to the Jiggy, found by flushing down Lago the toilet, have been assigned the same bit in memory. So collecting one of these causes the other to disappear. That's weird. There is a way to collect all 116 tokens legitimately. If you enter the cellar without collecting the token, then collect the token in Lago, the token will still be there in the cellar. This is because the cellar remains partially loaded if you've been in it before. That's strange. Conga's early name. Grar, this is Congo's tree. Me hit termite with oranges. Approaching Conga while using the termite transformation will result in him saying this bit of dialogue where he calls himself Congo. Congo was his original name, so it appears that this line wasn't updated. Okay. I love these. A cactus say what? What is this? Oh, sleep makes waves, hell yeah. Having more detail is always a good thing. Okay, so the Nintendo 64 version of the game can detect the presence of backup devices and cheat cartridges, since these devices run their own code before loading the game. If the game detects one of these devices, it will activate a feature where Banjo will randomly lose one of his moves during gameplay, which can prove to be a hindrance depending on the move. The move isn't permanently lost, as it can be relearned by talking to bottles. That's really weird. Huh. Original TCRF research. Ooh, regional differences. Title screen. In order to accommodate the large difference in altered title. In the game KO Kangaroo 2, quite similar to the game you were talking about. There are file names like fucking Tampoline, Shine Red. That's hilarious. I've been curious about the KO Kangaroo games because I've seen gameplay of them and they look pretty good, honest, all things considered. In order to accommodate the language difference and altered title, which translates to Banjo and Kazooie's Great Adventure, I don't know why, the Japanese version's logo was completely redesigned. That looks cool as fuck, dude. Wow. I like that little purple in the middle. Banjo and Kazooie. Naughty's House in Spring. Version differences. There we go. In Click Clock Wood, there's a beaver named Naughty who is locked out of his home. Normally the player would destroy the rock in summer and then return in fall to claim a Jiggy, and return in winter for an empty honeycomb. In US version 1.0 and European versions of the game, it is possible to destroy the rock in spring as well. To do so, the player must run around the area to the path which leads around the center tree, and position themselves so they're roughly above the area where the rock blocking the tunnel is. From here, the player would need to shoot down eggs to destroy the rock. Should the player destroy the rock, the camera will show the flower or the place where it would be if the player has not planted it. The player will then be able to jump down and swim into the tunnel. While it does exist, despite there being no way to enter it during the normal course of the game, it is untextured and just leads into nothingness, from which the player can jump into the void. Hell yeah. Okay, oh that's right, you can soft lock and there's a flower that you can plant and water throughout the tree, throughout the 3 out of the 4 seasons in the level. First, you plant the flower with eggs in spring, then beak bust goby to water it in summer. When you finally beak bust goby a final time in autumn, which spawns a Jiggy on top of the flower. However, in the US version 1.0 and European versions of the... Well, do you know that probably the oldest book of jokes is an anonymous collection of jokes entitled Philologios, Loving Laughter from the 3rd, 4th century BC? I'll have to look into that. I'll make a note of that. Give me just one moment. The National Museum of Language. Interesting. Okay. I'll look at that later. Thank you, Koi. You can plant the flower multiple times in spring. This can be done. Oh, okay. So don't plant the flower multiple times. Slide on it for a couple of seconds before sliding off it. The mechanic applies to all slopes in the used version 1.0 of the division. However, in 1.1, in the US version 1.1, Japanese and XBLA versions, Banjo will instantly slide off all slopes on the termite mound located inside Mumbo's Mountain. This change fixes an exploit where the player can climb. Dance till you drop. Well, collision. Engine room pipe loading zone. Okay. In the US version 1.0 of the game, the loading zone in the engine room pipe visually looks different than its updated version counterparts. In the first-person mode, you're able to see out of bounds and a part of the ceiling on US version 1.0. This was changed in the European US version 1.1, Japanese and Xbox versions with a black fade to block the out-of-bounds portion from being seen in first person. That's strange. Excuse me. Oh, we're at the end, and we're an hour and 47 minutes in. So we're gonna switch over to Banjo Tooie in just a moment. Specifically, in the US version 1.0 and European versions of the game, you can claw swipe before learning the move in basic training. This can be done by flicking the stick while walking to perform a slide, then immediately pressing the B button to punch. It doesn't have any known subsequent gameplay changes, as the only effect from this glitch is an early ding to represent you did the move for the first time. This glitch was patched out of US version 1.1, Japanese and Xbox Live Arcade versions of the game. Okay. Aw, I'm so glad they put in ukulele. I like that game. It's such a shame that so many people don't. I kind of get why, but still, it's an enjoyable game for what it is. Alrighty. Banjo Tooie. Banjo Tooie is the direct sequel to the popular Banjo Kazooie, in which the bear and bird have a bone to pick with the newly skeletal Gruntilda, who escaped from her grave and rudely interrupted their game night, and probably also because she killed bottles and threatens to destroy the Isle of Hags. Isle o' Hags, excuse me. Nicotine. Little bit of nicotine. Ooh, we got some pre-release info. What do we got? This article is still a work in progress. Alrighty, I'll keep that in mind. Development timeline. In 1998, September, the scrapped mine world from Kazooie, Glitter Gulch Mine, is redesigned for Tooie. October, the scrapped fairground world from Kazooie, Witchy World, is redesigned for Tooie. In 1999, January, Pterodactyl Land is drafted. And between January and November, Jam Jars takes Bottles' place as Move Tutor. In March, Grunty Industries is drafted and or implemented. Between March and November, I almost said November, the scrapped lava world from Kazooie, Mount Fire Eyes, is redesigned as Hailfire Peaks Fireside. In November, Cauldron Keep is drafted as a full-sized world before being downsized due to time and cartridge space constraints. 2000, November 20th, the final game is released. I was in kindergarten when this game came out. Also, this is music from Ico. I love Ico. Also, look at that album cover. That's the European box art version. It's so beautiful. The American box art for the original PS2 version sucks ass. It looks so awful. Anyway. Pressed screenshots. Ooh, okay. Witchy World. She's got the moon in her eyes. Alright. Warp pad. Yeah, the warp pads look different. I kind of like this one a little better, but I get why they switched it. The warp pads originally had BT on them. In the final game, they were changed to a blue swirl. An early screenshot of Kazooie on top of the dive of death in the final game. Kazooie can't get up here alone since she can't climb ladders. And there are also no flight pads in this area of the level. Grunty Industries. Bird? Yeah. Banjo and Kazooie are... Well, Banjo is a bear, and he wears a blue backpack, and inside the backpack is a bird named Kazooie. And she's real sassy. And at some point, I will play Banjo Kazooie. I have it on the original Nintendo 64, so when that time comes, you'll be able to see it fully. But yeah, Kazooie usually stays in Banjo's backpack. But in the second game, she got out and started walking around on her own. Banjo and Kazooie as characters are often referred to as the Bear and Bird. Yeah, see, look, there she is, sticking her head out of his backpack. Fully nice. Is it free? I mean, technically it's free since you can emulate it. So if you can find yourself a Nintendo 64 emulator and a ROM of Banjo Kazooie, go nuts, dude. I highly recommend it. It's a classic. However, if you want to like actually play the game on original hardware, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie are very expensive cartridges. I don't think so. Is it legal? I mean, morally, yes. Technically, no, but you won't get in trouble for it. Because, like, you don't plan on, because also, you're just the one downloading it, you're not, like... Because there are websites where you can just find ROMs and stuff. Hell, I have a Game Boy Advance emulator that I used to play a game called Golden Sun before I got my capture card for my PS2. I do eventually plan on finishing Golden Sun at some point, but, yeah, I've been emulating games since I started streaming, and even before that, and I haven't gotten in trouble at all. The only thing that Nintendo can do is take down the ROMs and emulations. Oh shit, I must go kiss your wife and my child goodbye. What the fuck? That's a weird bit, Koi. That's a weird bit. Grunty Industries. In the first room... Okay, this is the early version. So there's no guy with a wrench. That guy do be looking cool, though. And then... Yeah, it does look kind of different. These two sections are still here, except this door's wider. The different colored switches or buttons are still here. In the first room of Grunty Industries, there was originally a worker enemy on one of the metal walkways. In the final game, there are no enemies up there. The light from the elevator shaft is yellow, yeah. The light was changed to blue in the final game. The elevator door and platform are also slightly narrower. Yeah. In the final game, and a floor gauge and light were added to the wall. Well, oh yeah, I see it now. Cloud Cuckoo Land. Weird. Dud, Snacky Fatty, Guff Beans, Jolly's Juice. The brown bottle inside of the trash can was originally called Dud. In the final game, it was changed to Jolly's Juice. Oddly, this picture is used for one of the framed pictures in Banjo Land in Nuts and Bolts. Real fucking weird. Humba. Alright. I honestly like Humba, but like, Native American stereotype. It's real weird. Humba was originally Humba originally wore a red dress. In the final game, she wears a yellow dress. She also has simpler eyes with no eyelids, very small eyelashes, and either no lipstick on or no mouth texture altogether. Yeah, that's really weird. In her dialogue icon, she appears to be wearing a mask. Oh, yes, she does. The Mumbo token icon from Banjo Kazooie can be seen. Can? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, this one. This was likely a placeholder until Globos were implemented. Okay. Humba's Book of Spells is not visible next to her. Oh, yeah, okay. Space World 2000, a Japanese demo that was playable at Space World 2000, which doesn't appear to be much different from the final game. Many of the differences involve the demo mode and the localization specifications. Banjo Tooie footage starts at 4334. Excuse me. Ugh. Okay. Let's check it out. Ooh, okay. Oh my god, look how bad that looks. Look at that low quality image. Hey, Banjo, or not Banjo, Kazooie gameplay. Oh my god, hold the camera still, goddammit. Jesus. Look at this shit. Oh my god. This is hilarious. This is how they got game footage back in the day, just holding a video camera up to a CRT screen. God, this is weird. Some dude's head's in the way. Move. Oh my god, this feels nostalgic even though I never watched this before. I was alive during this era though. Which is probably why the aesthetics look nostalgic to me. Damn. However, I exist here again. Welcome back, Koi. We're looking at Space World 2000 demo footage. Space World, if you're not aware, was a convention that showed off up-and-coming games that was around in the 90s and early 2000s. It was although it was in Japan only. So this was early demo footage of Banjo Tooie at a Japanese convention. This is so funny that it looks this bad. This is really weird. Whoa, that looks weird. Doesn't look bad. The TV doesn't frame. Oh, that's true. Yeah, now that you mention it, the TV doesn't have those black bars that like slide down the screen. I'm not sure what they're called, but I know I get what you mean now. That is very interesting that they don't do that. I also more so meant that the quality of the video being taken of the screen is what looks bad, in my opinion, anyway. You're fucking riding a UFO. Stop looking away, cameraman. Come on now. The game itself looks great. That's really weird. Okay. I'm not sure how long this is gonna take for. Hey, we just hit two. Fucking Pikachu in the background. Alright. Opening and title screen. Dolby Digital. The copyright text for Dolby Digital is in Japanese. The font is much larger and uses what may be the same font as the copyright text below. Okay, so just a minor thing. Okay. Oops. Yeah, okay. Minor differences. The demo menu is a simple dialogue head menu and uses a screenshot of Kazooie flying over grunty industries in the background. Those menus correspond to unused text left in the final game, but in Japanese. Welcome everyone. Explore worlds, play minigames, and boss battles. Cool. Likely multiplayer madness. Likely story and game info. Level select. Select a stage. Mayhem Temple, Witchy World, Jolly Roger's Lagoon? Huh. Grunty Industries. Gameplay. As often is the case with rare game demos, a rotating rare logo is always shown at the bottom right. Yep, during gameplay. Minigame counters layer on top of the logo so as not to impede gameplay. Ooh, to be incorporated. Oh, okay, that's stuff that they haven't gone into detail about. So let's look at these. Shall we? He said, setting up the next verse in a comedy song. Alright, what do we got? Mine. Oh, it's the mine level. That's very interesting. It's very interesting to look at bird's eye view blueprints of a 3D platformer. Damn, this level's huge. That thing is huge. That's what she said. Ba-na-na-na. Okay, what's this one? Fairgrounds. Okay. Oh, I like that they're shaped like different stuff. That's kind of cool. Not sure why that one's shaped like a fucking nuke, but hey, here we are. The boss at max. Wow, that's a tall boss. Banjo must grenade egg the patches. Oh, okay. Start size, finish size. Huh. That's interesting. Not really much overall. Close, thank you. Oh, I like that design of the. I like the design of that sea monster, though. When Banjo stands on top of the sacrifice something, the large monster scoffs him. And something. The Dino World. Oh, it's Omori. Wait. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, okay. Had to stretch a little bit. Weirdly, not much to this one. Alrighty. GI floor texture. Greg. Gerg males. Alright. Unused text. Nope. Bottles' Revenge? I think we're gonna finish the main Banjo Tooie page and then we'll call it a stream. A dummied out game mode which allows player 2 to antagonize player 1, which can be re-enabled with a Game Shark code? Oh, bro, I gotta see this. This sounds really silly. Here, let me pause the music real quick. There we go. Also, Coy, this is what I meant by mumble speak. You see the text, you see the face, and that noise is him talking. Evil spirit. Aww, that's adorable. Cool. Automatically possess the nearest creature to you. But why would you want to do that? Simple, it will allow a friend to control the creature using the second controller to try and hinder your progress. Oh my god. You fiendish ghoul. I am, aren't I? Player 2 should look out for the magic sparklies when a creature that I can possess is within range. Why is it doing that? Ugh. Yes, white sparklies indicate the next creature that will be controllable. When R is pressed... Oh, when R is pressed. I'm sure that's all very nice. Come on, Kazooie. Let's ignore this silly spirit and get on with our quest. Oh, that's very funny. Her. From what I can see in the manual, CRT TVs didn't display the frames directly on the screen. They only displayed an enlarged version of a constant light, so you can't see the frames. Correct. The way CRTs worked is the glass on the front was filled with colored. I hesitate to call them pixels because they're not digital. They're physical, like miniature colored squares that were colored red, green, and blue. You can also notice this if you look close enough at any CRT. And there was this ray, a cathode ray, which is what the CR stands. CRT stands for cathode ray tube, and it would shoot this beam at like multiple lenses that would spread out the light, and then the little colored squares on the TV would catch that light and correct it and color correct it to the right color on the screen. It's fucking crazy the way they did that. It's so cool. But there are some CRTs where if you point a video camera at them, there are these thick black lines that will be going up slowly up the screen, and I don't remember what that is. It's so complicated that it's hard to believe it's outdated and it's outdated technology. Well, yeah. Newer technology is more often than not, but not always, simpler because of the compounds because of the materials and compounds that are used to make newer technology. That's basically it. The reason why older technology is so complicated is because they had to work with what they had, and they had to try to get it to work in a way that would work well enough. I mean, hell, older CRT models would actually shoot nuclear radiation at the screen, which is why a lot of older TV models are so heavy, because there's literally a slab of lead in there to protect people from getting radiation sickness. That's also where I don't know if people still tell you this, Coy, but when I was a kid, I was always told never to sit too close to the TV. I was told that it was, quote, bad for your eyes. However, the reason why it used to be bad for your eyes is because old cathode rays would shoot beams of nuclear energy out. But they don't do that anymore, and plasma screens are much safer. So you can get as close as you want to, but it's still dangerous for your eyes to look at screens for a long period of time. So, daily reminder: look away from your screens for at least half an hour. Which I almost never remember to do because I'm a goober. Anyway. Oh, that's very interesting. So player 2 is controlling this enemy. I know my mother used to tell me something similar, but she told me that it would burn me. I mean, that's close enough, because radiation poisoning comes as a result of radiation burns. So that does make sense. In fact, if you're interested in learning more about how ionizing radiation works, there's a YouTuber by the name of Kyle Hill, and he has an entire series on nuclear accidents in the past. But despite his videos on the dangers of nuclear stuff, he's in full support of more of scientists developing miniature nuclear power plants, because, like, despite the number of nuclear meltdowns that have happened in the past, it is still less than the number of people killed due to toxic air pollution because of coal and fossil fuels. He has a whole playlist where he's talked about different nuclear radiation accidents. And it's fascinating to watch. Give me a second, and I will... What's the word? Link it in the chat. Just a moment. Bam! There you go. Great little series. That's very interesting that player 2 doesn't have access to the camera, so that they would have to, like, kind of feel their way around. At school, they told us about the effect of radiation 2 days a week or 2 hours. It would be nice to refresh the information. Oh, absolutely. And also, some information about radiation taught in schools isn't always right. Like, some things taught in schools isn't always correct. It depends on how conservative the particular school board in your area is, which can be the fucking worst. Anyway. Wait a second. In school. Coy, I have to ask, because this is an 18-plus stream, are you 18 or older? Are you 18 or older? If you're not, I have to ask you to leave the chat until you are 18. I don't want to boot you. Yes, I am? Okay, good. I had someone in here a couple of weeks ago that I didn't know was under 18. She was very nice. Very nice. She was nice enough to draw me some fan art. It was very sweet of her. But I told her that, like, to avoid accidental creepy stuff, since I talk about sex sometimes on the stream, that I would prefer if she waited until she was 18 before coming back into my stream. And she was like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, but yeah, like I said, she was very sweet. Okay. Are there any other videos? And not right now, so we're gonna play the music again. It's an easy thing to do. I mean, I am a November kid, so I spent more than half my last year of high school as 18. Oh yeah, I get that. I knew of a bunch of kids, and whenever I was in high school, who were 18 and still in high school. So I absolutely get that. Hell, Nuki is one of them.
Holmes is the biggest star in the
Oh, okay.
history of the adult film industry. There's a certain intrigue that follows him. After working in the heat of the lights,
There we go. That was weird. Damn it. My fucking sound chip for my laptop is fucked up, so I have to occasionally turn on and off mono audio. There we go. In the 6th grade, I had someone who was 18 because he still failed the class. Damn, that sucks. Isn't Nuki heading to college soon, though? He is, but whenever I met him earlier this year, he was a senior in high school. He graduated a couple of months ago. That's what I meant. Like, he was an 18-year-old who was a senior in high school. Yeah, that's what we mean, Aiden. It's all good. We're on the right track. Anyway. Okay. When the player starts a new file, they'll get additional cutscene. No, that just describes what was happening. Ooh, unused music. Fuck yeah. Unused music. Hear the sound of music drifting in the aisle. All right. 3 pieces of reused Banjo Kazooie music are present in the game's files, but only most of one is used. The last 4 seconds of the Game Over's theme cannot be heard in-game as the game fades out to the title screen, complete with Grunty's laughter being imposed over the music, before the final segment can play. It's not too substantial a loss, as the full version is audible in the Banjo Kazooie Game Over screen, so that's pretty much just the same one as the Banjo Kazooie Game Over screen. Yep. Yep, okay. This fanfare played for opening a note door and collecting the final Jiggy of a world. Banjo Tooie not only has no note doors, but nothing special happens upon getting the last world's Jiggies. Diddle-a-dan, diddle-a-dan. I like that one. I remember that one. The fanfare used in Banjo Kazooie when the player collected all 5 Jinjos in a world. In Banjo Tooie, nothing special happens when a player collects all 5 Jinjos in a world, and no special fanfare plays when a complete Jinjo family is collected. That's just a missed opportunity. Jinjo! Yeah. Jinjo! They actually have plushies of all 5 colors of Jinjo on fangamer.com. I really want one. I want the green one at least. The green one and the purple one. Because they look real cute. In plushie form. Unused sounds. 3 sounds from Banjo Kazooie were retained. Alright. The sound for collecting an extra life. Rare did away with extra lives for this game. Huh? Classic banjo noise. 2 voice clips that were spoken by the termites in Mumbo's Mountain in Banjo Kazooie. Mr. Fit uses the hut and 2 voice clips, but the voice clips for 3 and 4 go unused.
3, 4.
Oh, that's weird. Unused areas. This needs investigations. Elementary, my dear cactus. Cactus Holmes, yeah. I forgot to mention this previously, Koi, but for some reason, this cactus is like the mascot for TCRF. I think it's because like one of the earliest things that were put on this website was a cactus that was found out of bounds in a game or whatever. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. But yeah, it's a cactus. It's very silly. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Unused Jinjo house. That seems a bit loud. Turn that just a smidge. There we go. Unused Jinjo house. This shouldn't be here, Jinjo family. You walk in, get out. Okay. I like that. It's pretty simple, but it's nice. Present among the 9 Jinjo houses in Jinjo Village is an unused 10th Jinjo house, which has the tag, shouldn't be here. The spots on the wall randomly alternate between purple and brown. Ugh. The entrance also lacks a loading zone, so you can't exit the house. The exact purpose of this map is unknown. To access the 3 maps in the US version, use the following GameShark code. Cave of Horrors doors? Cave of Horrors doors? A small area that contains a copy of the Cave of Horrors doors in Witchy World. Yep, that's about it. Just a black void with some wood textures. Empty square room. That's weird. A large empty square room with a very glitchy ceiling texture. It may have been intended for Jolly Roger's Lagoon, since it's grouped with the rest of the maps for that level. Empty map. A completely empty map trying to access it displays a black screen. That's weird. Unused pipe. That do be looking pipey. An unused pipe that appears to be an early unfinished version of the toxic waste pipe that leads to Jolly Roger's Bay. It lacks texture on some parts. Oh, yeah, okay. On some parts and uses the opening cutscene song. Hidden level geometry. Near the power hut in Glitter Gulch mine is some out-of-bounds level geometry. That's interesting. I always like finding out-of-bounds level geometry. What the hell? The oven in the Prospector's Hut in Glitter Gulch Mine has the insides modeled, but since it can't be opened, the insides can't be seen. Sweet. That's kind of cute. Yeah, I need to fix my hair real quick. There we go. The model for... excuse me, I'm getting yawny. The model for Banjo's house contains 2 versions of the house. Here, let's get a bigger look at it, since this is a more detailed picture. Ah, damn it, of course. That's interesting. There's like an alternate version without bottles there. Huh. There's Mumbo. There's Banjo and Kazooie, and then there's bottles. There's the door, there's some weirdly yellow polka dot curtains. Okay. Okay. The model for Banjo's house contains 2 versions of the house. One is used extensively during the intro cutscene, while the other is a largely unseen copy of the house, more or less as it looked during Banjo Kazooie. Okay, anyway. There are subtle differences in the Banjo Tooie version of the house, including a new diamond pattern and blue and pink striped wallpaper instead of the original game's yellow flower pattern, a dark wood ceiling, dark skirting board, and a bookshelf removed to make space for an extra couch and floor lamp. Although the Banjo Kazooie version of the house is mostly unused, it does appear very briefly during the first-person view of Banjo looking at his cards, so the wallpaper behind the photo of Banjo and Kazooie appears to lose its blue and pink stripe and switch to its original flower pattern for this one shot. That's really weird. The Banjo Kazooie copy of the house has 3 low-poly spheres floating in it. As described in the cutscene oddities section, these are part of the map model rather than object / actors. That's real weird. Oops. cutscene oddities. The opening cutscene has a few odd things which are never visible on screen at any point. That's weird. At the very beginning, there's a second completely untextured model of Klungo. After the camera starts panning down, it moves towards the boulder briefly before disappearing. It's likely that at one point the opening cutscene was going to show Klungo walking up the boulder. Weird. In the scene where Banjo looks at his cards, 3 white low poly spheres can be seen or can be found off screen. It's unknown what these are for. Yep, I see them. They're weird looking, and this music is adding some extra creepy nature to this. I like it. I like the it. Oop. Inside Banjo's house, during the opening cutscene, is an unseen opaque window. Right here. Window texture on the ground, excuse me. Unused look at this big boy, the buffest of Jinjos. I like him. He's cute. He's doofy looking. A huge muscle-bound Jinjo with fangs. Possibly an early Minjo design, scrapped for looking too different from Jinjos, making it too obvious at a glance that it's a Minjo. Oh, okay. Unused graphics. Truck elf? Truck elf? That looks like a pair of booty cheeks right there. Legit just looks like a pair of cheeks. Oh. That's why. Hold on. We'll get to that. This icon is used for the truck whenever a health display is forced on screen. For example, if a player hacks the truck into Old King Cole's fight, it's a gray silhouette of an unknown object with a question mark on it. Since the truck cannot get hurt, it has no regular health display. According to the game's designer Greg Mayles, this icon was likely a placeholder for characters that didn't have a dialogue icon. Weird. Okay, Honey Bee's boobies. The texture used for Honey Bee's chest. She wears a yellow top which covers up most of her breasts. So half of this texture is never actually seen in game. Oh, that's hilarious. It's just a pair of bee tits with no nipples, so I can show it on screen. Plus, it's so tiny you can't even tell what it is. So it's just a texture of a bee's chest. Hilarious. Oh, look at these boys! Look at these silly little boys. Oh my god. Oh, wow. There's tits. Oh, their tits look like a butt. They do! I mentioned that earlier. They look like straight up ass cheeks, which also makes it extra funny. Look at how doofy. I love this. An unused icon for a yellow skull, red and green skulls were added in the XBLA version, but were still unused. Oh my god. I want this as an emote. This looks so doofy and I love it. I have no clue how to do emotes, but I'll save it for if I ever figure it out. Oops. Let me go back. The other one's like the best one. It's so goofy. It's so dumb. I love it. Okay, game box. The texture for the right side of the Banjo Tooie box in the menu can't be seen in-game due to the camera angle. Oh, that looks weird. Unused objects. Using GameShark code this, in the US version, the player can spawn these objects in games. Falling leaves, falling leaves, falling leaves on the ground. Run away before you drown, or the streets will beat you down. Falling leaves, falling leaves, falling leaves on the ground. Damn. That's another song from my word association playlist. Koi, for context, I have this habit of whenever I see or hear a word, phrase, or sound effect, it reminds me of a song. The song immediately gets like in my head. Not necessarily stuck, but it's in there. And so I've taken to making a Spotify playlist documenting every time that it happens. And the song that I thought of for this one is the song "Fallen Leaves" by Billy Talent. Run away before you drown, or the streets will beat you down. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground. Wait, is it already in here? Oh, it is already in here. Hell yeah. Okay, alright. Falling leaves were used in the autumn section of Click Clock Wood in Banjo Kazooie. Oh, look at him. He looks so goofy. An angry torch that doesn't do... An angry... Me for real, he just like me for real, for real. An angry torch that doesn't do anything. Some concept art reveals that it was intended to appear in the flooded caves in Glitter Gulch Mine. It would have lit up dark areas and chased the player whenever they're nearby. That's a cool idea, though. A rare crate. Fragile. A metal version of the wooden rare crate seen in Grunty Industries. Unlike the wooden crates, this can only be destroyed with grenade eggs or Clockwork Kazooie. One moment while I crush this can and suck out the remaining drink on the inside. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick, be right back. Damn it, I couldn't do it, because there was this, so G Fuel cans are like, while they are made of tin, or whatever the metal they usually are made of is, they're also wrapped in this, like, plastic that has the label on it. So, it's hard to, like, open the sides. And unless I have, like, a knife or something, I can't do it, and I don't feel like getting up, so I'm just gonna, leave that where it is. I'm gonna grab me some chips. So if you hear a chip bag in the background, that's why. I'm just munching on some chips because I'm getting hungry. But again, I don't want to get up to get a full meal because we're running on 2.5 hours. And we are... Hold on. We are about halfway down. We're about right here on the scroll bar where my mouse is at. We're about halfway down, and I think we can finish this. Let's finish this. Herder-burder-burder. Oh. Okay. The dance Banjo does when he collects all Jiggies in a level in Banjo Kazooie exists as a leftover. However, the player maintains control of Banjo when collecting Jiggies, so the animation is never seen. That's interesting. Unused warp. The metal pipe in the icy side of Hailfire Peaks contains a second warp zone at the end of the pipe which can't be accessed normally since there's no way around the first warp zone. Internal file name oddities? Nah. Development text, bunch of strings, crash debugger. Huh, everything's down to the... okay. Crash info. Jesus. Call stack, wow. Thread status. Anti-piracy, hell yeah. Present in the N64 version of the game are 2 anti-piracy checks. When the game is powered on, it'll check for the correct save type, Banjo Tooie uses a 2 kilobyte EEPROM, but if the save type is incorrect, or there's no save chip at all in the cartridge, the game will act as if no controller is plugged in. The game will display the no controller message and won't respond to any button inputs. That's crazy. Additionally, the game also checks if the correct CIC lockout chip checks for the correct CIC lockout chip, just like Jet Force Gemini, which I also have a copy of. NTSC copies check for a, by the way, Koi, NTSC is the North American versions of games. So if you ever see NTSC version of a game, that's the American version. Copies of that check for a CIC, a Kicknuss, and PAL copies check for a PAL is European. You probably know that. Sorry. A CIC NUS that this check is done by using the challenge response feature, or a feature of that. Unlike Jet Force Gemini, Banjo Tooie has 267 checks that happen throughout the game. Wow. The responses from the CIC are used to decrypt various game assets, and if any of the checks fail, the game won't be able to decrypt the data and will simply freeze. Damn. Once again, the Japanese version of Banjo games have the cooler looking title. I like the different shades of blue and red, the purple, that dark brown, and the green on the 2. That's so cool. The Japanese version was renamed Banjo and Kazooie's Great Adventure 2. I don't quite... Oh, okay, they added the screen scale. A screen scale. Oh my god, that's a tongue twister. A screen scale setting was added to the options in the EU and AU versions. The US and Japanese versions render at 304 by 226, and the EU and AU versions render at 304 by 268. I thought they looked different, like size-wise. That's funny. Eggs feathers counters. When the infinite eggs and feathers cheats are enabled, the counters for those items will display lots, which is hilarious, in the North American and Australian versions. In other versions of the game, the counters will simply display 999. Out of bounds in Oogle Boogle's cave. That's weird. In the Oogle Boogle's cave in Pterodactyl Land, Pterodactyl, there's a tunnel that leads to Witchy World, and at the end of the tunnel is a sign. In the North American, Australian, and Japanese versions, it's possible to grab the top of the sign and climb on top of it, which allows Banjo to go out of bounds. Ooh! It was fixed in the European and Xbox Live Arcade versions. Damn. Oh, look at him. He's so sad. But he also looks like he has 4 arms. Or an extra arm. Yep. Trotty the mutated 3-armed pig. Oh, okay. In Jolly Roger's Lagoon, only has 2 arms in the Japanese version of the game. His dialogue was altered to match. That's why. Weird. I'm not going to read through all that. Wow, that's a lot of text. Whoop, what's this? Tower de Quiz. Tower of Tragedy Quiz Billboard. Tower of Tragedy, Tower de Quiz. The Tower of Tragedy Billboard was renamed Tower de Quiz in the Japanese version. That's weird looking. I remember this. I remember watching this on an episode of Did You Know Gaming? Which, Koi, if you're not familiar with Did You Know Gaming, I highly recommend them. They're a YouTube channel that posts a whole bunch of video game trivia. And they are the ones that sparked my love of video game trivia and early stuff. So it's called Did You... Did you... Oh my god, let me type correctly, please. Did you know... Gaming. There you go. Did you know gaming? All one word. Just paste that into the YouTube search bar, and you'll get it. It's great. So in the international version, it's just her. I already forgot her name, but her holding up Gruntilda's severed head. In the Japanese version, it is her in the bag. It's her head in this bag. In the ending cutscene, Gruntilda's skull is replaced with a sack that resembles her clothing in the Japanese version of the game. Presumably censorship related to decapitation, because in Japan there was a series of murders, and I can't remember what the name of the murders were called, but a bunch of people were decapitated, and to this day, it completely changed how decapitated heads are depicted in media in Japan. Even in media from Japan, you cannot have severed heads on screen in media in Japan. Another example of this is in Resident Evil 7. When you're on that one abandoned ship, there's a guy laying on a gurney with his head cut off. That was replaced by something else. I don't remember what it was, but that was replaced, and it's very interesting. Anyway, Grunty's eyeball still pops out, however. Strangely enough, this censorship wasn't applied to the Xbox Live version of the game. And probably not complete. This page or section needs more images. There's a whole lot of words here, but not enough pictures. Let's see. Version differences. Oh, this is just the Xbox Live Arcade version. Okay. And that's it. Because I don't want to go over the Xbox Live Arcade versions. Okay. This was a short stream, but I'm kind of glad it was, because last night was over 5 hours long. So I need a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. So, I am gonna look and see who I can raid. Koi, thank you for sticking around. Same for you, Aiden. Thank you for sticking around. Here we go. Anyway. Oh man, I got 2 new followers yesterday. I acknowledged Donko25's subscription or follow, and the one that I didn't get a notification for though was someone called Lou Days. Actually, no, I think they were here at like the last minute. But either way, they may or may not be in the chat, just lurking. I don't know. But thank you, Lou Days, for the follow. Thank you very much. I think I'm gonna raid Morgan if she's on. We shall see. Chibi Doki. Bum 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 bam 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 bam. No, she's not on yet. Oh, that's right. I just saw the message that says she's running behind. My bad. Ba-ba-da-ba-dope. Do-do-do-do. She forgot how many settings there are. This was about a little under 15 minutes ago. So I'm gonna hang out and see when she goes live, because I would love to raid her, because she hasn't streamed in a while. She deserves the love. Yeah. So, since I mentioned Did You Know Gaming, let's enjoy some Did You Know Gaming videos. For the content. Oh. I forgot about that part of that song. Oof. Sorry about that. Well, this is going to be paused anyway. So, let's go find that girl. Sorry. Did you know gaming? There's a Chanel. I want to see if I can find some Banjo Kazooie videos. Since we were just talking about Banjo Kazooie. Plus they have visuals, which will make it a lot easier. Ah, oh, Rare. That'll work. Rare games. Rareware. Feed the Cartoon Gamer. Okay. Bop ba da da bop bop ba da da bop. What? Oh, damn it. Hold on.
Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts wasn't the first version of the game Rare.
There we go.
Did you know? Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts wasn't the first version of the game.
What the?
Rare attempted to develop, it actually ended up being their third attempt over several years of brainstorming. A third Banjo Kazooie game was teased as early as the year 2000 when series antagonist Gruntilda threatened Banjo and friends at the end of Banjo Tooie saying, "Just you wait until Banjo 3. Although the core Banjo team's next project after Banjo Tooie was grabbed by the Ghoulies, there is some evidence that a third game was at least considered for the GameCube. The biggest clue being a tech demo shown off by Rare at Space World 2000, featuring the Banjo Kazooie cast and a new engine. Though this was during a time where the gaming industry was going through some big changes. What could once be done with a small team on the Nintendo 64 would now take a larger team and budget for the new console generation. Rare's co-founders, Tim and Chris Stamper, had expected Nintendo to buy Rare outright, making them a first-party development studio and combating the rising costs. To their surprise, that never happened, and they were instead bought by Microsoft in 2002. All of Rare's intellectual properties were also bought with the company, including Banjo Kazooie, and any GameCube projects were either cancelled or made their way to the Xbox.
Yep,
the game
and
that
I hate
eventually became Nuts and Bolts, while referencing the events of the previous games, was never intended to be a straight sequel. When the team started work on a new Banjo Kazooie game for the Xbox hardware, codenamed Banjo X, they initially planned to do a complete remake of the original game. This game would have shared a basic structure with its predecessor, but also introduced new challenges and changed old ones in ways that would surprise even series veterans. As the game started to take form, however, the team became concerned that players would see it as a mere graphical update to the original and that it might be hard to sell as a result. The team got as far as
if they only knew how much money remakes made now, they wouldn't have second guessed themselves.
revamping Mumbo's Mountain before taking the game in a new direction, and little else was known about this build until August of 2015. Former Rare designer Steve Mail shared models of Mumbo's Mountain characters
cool!
which, among other things, showed that the game adopted an angular style well before Nuts and Bolts. A more conventional model of Mumbo himself was made a year prior to test out lip-syncing with the character. The second concept Rare put into development was also planned to be a traditional platformer, but would feature a more direct rivalry between the protagonists and Gruntilda. The plan was to allow Grunty to interfere with the player's progress by having her complete the same tasks as the player, from collecting items to solving puzzles. Rare foresaw that the level of complexity needed for Grunty's AI would cause issues down the road, so they scrapped the idea and changed direction yet again. For their third attempt, the team decided to create a game similar to previous entries while still doing something new with the 3D platforming genre. In an interview, designer Greg Mayles said, "The next idea was looking at how players travel in platform games. How can we make the traveling to the..."
Morgan's live! Let's fucking go, y'all. Let's see. There you are. I'm back! Hell yeah. And she's playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Blue Rescue Team. Probably on the DS. Okay. I'm gonna put the music back on. Let's switch that one up. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so let's raid Morgie. Yeah, Morgie raid. As I previously mentioned, thank you for stopping by, and a thank you to anyone who happened to poke their heads in and didn't feel like watching. That's okay. Each to their own. Captain Morgan. I think I got that right. We'll see. And I will see you all next Tuesday for the PS2 showcase to continue. I hope to have a lot of fun with that one. Thank you all very much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Oh, 2 viewers, hell yeah, ready to raid. Fuck yeah. Alrighty. Good night, everybody.